Good day, Grayton. Welcome aboard Flight ANU 2025, bound to Canberra, Australia. This is your flight attendant, Zhaldy Crispino speaking. Our captain has just announced clear skies and bright futures ahead, and I couldn't be more excited to take you on this journey today. On this flight, we'll be exploring my personal journey from my time here at Southcrest to studying international business at ANU. Every international flight has its connecting flights. For me, I had three choices to start my journey: Flight ABM 2024, STEM 2024, and layover in OSSD 2024. And interestingly enough, I made stops in all three. The first leg of my journey began in STEM. While I ultimately graduated as an ABM student, my story started right here. It didn't take long, however, for me to realize that my true passion was in business. Now I know what it might sound like. I was heading in the wrong direction. But trust me, my time in STEM was far from a detour. In fact, it was an essential chapter that laid the foundation for everything that followed. One of my most memorable experiences was in the subject of physics. Not because I was particularly good at it, since honestly, I was far from it, but because of the perseverance I've learned. I'll never forget the time I received a really slow score in a quiz. Yes, not just low, but actually really low. It was a tough moment, and I felt pretty down about it. But what happened next is something that stayed with me. Instead of simply handing back our papers and moving on, Mr. Batcho took time to walk us through each question, one by one. She made sure we understood exactly where we went wrong and how we could fix it. That experience taught me a crucial lesson. Failure isn't the end. And yes, as cliche as it sounds, it truly is an opportunity to learn and grow. What made all the difference during this time was how deeply invested the teachers were in our learning. That's one thing I'll always appreciate about Southcrest. The teachers genuinely care about your success. And beyond that, the STEM class never felt like a group of individuals working in isolation. It felt like a team, with everyone supporting one another through highs and lows. And knowing that my classmates had my back in facing those challenges, it made it so much easier. So, as mentioned, after a semester in STEM, I realized it wasn't my final destination. So, I decided to switch paths and pursue APM, a route that aligned much more with my passion in business. So, in APM, I dove into subjects like accounting, marketing, and finance. But what really made this path stand out were the hands on experiences. One of the most memorable parts of my journey was my internship at Viva. It was like stepping into a mini business world. There I worked across hotels, condominiums, cafes, and rental operations, and suddenly all the theories I learned in class came into life. It wasn't just about memorizing concepts anymore, it was applying them in real world situations. What made Southcrest even more special was how they hired teachers directly from the field. For example, Miss Ekong, a practicing accountant, didn't just teach the theory from the books. She brought her own professional experiences into the classroom, giving us a giving us a first-hand look at how accounting works in the real world. I also had the privilege of taking merger classes with Mr. Kabahog, and it was this combination of practical experience and expert teachers that made ABM the perfect fit for me. And next stop on my journey, OSSD, my international layover. This program was a game changer. OSSD offered a mix of academic learnings and hands on experiences that really broadened my perspective. We had a lot of lab work for subjects like physics and chemistry, virtual and physical simulations that made learning interactive and so much more fun. But it wasn't just about science. In English and business management, we had presentations and debates allowing ourselves to be expressed freely without judgment. In OSSD, I could try on different careers. One day I was a chemist in a lab, the next a debater during English, and even a business owner running operations in business management. There was truly not a dull day in OSSD, I tell you. And with the international accredited OSSD diploma, doors to scholarships and global opportunities opened for me. I received the Chris Royce Memorial Scholarship, the ANU Chancellor Scholarship, and even scholarships from the University of Adelaide and the University of Western Australia. Truly, OSSD became my ticket to a world of possibilities. And now, after all those connections and layovers, we've finally arrived at our destination, Australian National University. Australian National University is one of the top 30 universities in the world, and landing here to study international business is truly a dream come true. And so, as you all prepare for your own journeys, remember you get to choose your own path. You have 2 more years ahead here in Southcrest, and coming from a person who has tried all three, whether you decide to follow STEM, ABM, or OSSD, don't worry. I could say that Southcrest does it best. Well, none of this would have been possible without my support crew, so I wanted to take this time to send my deepest gratitude to my mentor, Miss Abrasada. She was always there guiding me through every challenge and offering constant encouragement. Miss Abrasada, I truly cannot thank you enough. I also wanted to send my deepest thanks to our OSSD advisor, Miss Revecha, and our guidance counselor, Miss Quesada. Your dedication and support were instrumental in making our transition as the pioneering batch of OSSD as smooth as it was. Thank you for all the opportunities that OSSD has opened. And one last thing to Ms. Revecha, thank you for always hearing us out, especially on our first year in OSSD. And with that, our journey comes to an end. Thank you so much for flying with me today. Remember, the sky's the limit. So soar high, Astros. Once again, this is Zhaldy Crispino, your flight attendant, signing off.